Let me tell you something that took me longer than I'd like to admit to figure out. The thing most men over 60 have been told about losing their firmness, that it's just age, that it's normal, that it's the price of getting older, is for the most part flat out wrong. And by the end of these next few minutes, I'm going to show you a simple test you can do sitting right where you are that points to the real cause. Stay with me, because the part most men get wrong comes a little later and it changes everything. So let's start with the lie. You go to the doctor or you just talk to a buddy and you mention that things aren't what they used to be down there. And what do you hear? Well, you're not 25 anymore. That's just part of getting older. And you nod and you accept it and you file it away as something permanent, something you have to live with. Here's the problem with that story. Age is the cover story. It's the alibi for what's actually going on underneath. And honestly, I was skeptical about this too when I first started reading into it. I assumed the men who said it's just age were probably right. But the more I looked, the more I realized age gets blamed for something that is really a plumbing issue, a blood flow issue. Let me explain the mechanism, because once you understand this, you'll never look at it the same way. Firmness, performance, hardness, whatever word you want to use, is mostly a blood flow event. It is not magic, it's not all in your head, it's not even mostly about hormones the way people assume. It comes down to one thing. Can enough blood get to the right place quickly and stay there? That's it. That depends on two things being healthy: the blood vessels themselves and a little molecule your body makes called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up wide so blood can rush in. Healthy vessels plus good nitric oxide equals good flow. That's the whole game. Now here's where it goes wrong, and here's the real culprit that age gets blamed for: blood sugar. When your blood sugar runs high, and I don't mean full diabetes, I mean even the pre-diabetic range that millions of men walk around with and never get told about, that excess sugar quietly damages the delicate lining inside your blood vessels. That lining is called the endothelium, and it's the exact factory that produces your nitric oxide. So high sugar damages the lining makes less nitric oxide, the vessels can't open properly, and the flow drops. Simple as that. And now the part that I really want you to hear. The vessels that supply performance down there are small, much smaller than the ones around your heart. So when this sugar damage starts, those small vessels show it first, years sometimes before anything shows up in your heart, which means a change in circulation down there isn't just an inconvenience. It's an early warning light on the dashboard. It's your body telling you about your vascular health before your heart ever has to. Take a second to sit with that, because it reframes the whole thing. What feels like a private, embarrassing, just getting old problem is actually one of the earliest, most honest signals you'll ever get about the health of your blood vessels. Now, why I called this good news. Stay with me. If the cause were truly just age, there'd be nothing to do. You can't unage. But blood sugar-driven vascular damage? That is measurable. And in a lot of cases, it's improvable. You're not fighting time. You're fighting a number, and numbers can move. Which brings me to the test I promised you. And I want you to actually do this with me right now, not just watch. 2 parts. First, if you've got an old blood test sitting in a drawer or in a folder on your computer, go pull it out. I'll wait. Look for 2 things. One is called fasting glucose. The other is called a 1C, or hemoglobin A1C. A lot of men have these numbers sitting right there on a page and have never once been told they mattered for this. If your fasting glucose has been creeping up over 100, or your A1C is sitting in that gray zone just under the diabetic cutoff, that is exactly the silent sugar situation I've been describing. That piece of paper might be telling you the real story your doctor never connected to this. Second part, and you can do this one right now with nothing but your hands. Reach down and feel the pulse on the top of your foot, or just behind your inner ankle bone. Press gently. Can you feel a strong, clear beat? Now compare both feet. Faint, hard to find, or one much weaker than the other can be a sign that flow to your smaller, farther vessels isn't what it should be. And those are cousins of the very vessels we're talking about. This isn't a diagnosis, it's a clue. But it's your clue from your own body right now. If either of those rang a bell, don't panic. That's the opposite of what I want. Because now you know what you're actually dealing with, and that means you can actually do something about it. So let's talk about the reversal toolkit. Plain, free, and grounded in what research suggests can support healthier blood flow. 3 things. First, movement, not marathons. Just a brisk 10 to 15-minute walk after your meals, especially after dinner. When you move your muscles, they pull sugar out of your bloodstream without even needing as much insulin, so that walk is literally lowering the sugar that's been scarring your vessels. It also nudges your body to make more nitric oxide. One simple habit, hitting both levers at once. Second, food order. This one sounds almost too small to matter, but it's one of my favorites. Don't change what you eat, change the order. Eat your vegetables and your protein first, and save the bread, the potato, the sweet stuff for the end of the meal. Research suggests that simple sequence can blunt the blood sugar spike from the same exact plate of food. Same dinner, gentler impact on those vessels. And by the way, there's a natural blood flow support I personally like for this, built around the nitric oxide side of things. I left it down in the description if you ever want to look into it. No pressure at all. The walk and the food order are doing the heavy lifting either way. Third, sleep. When you're short on sleep, your blood sugar control gets worse the very next day, and your nitric oxide takes a hit too. Protecting 7 hours isn't lazy. For your blood vessels, it's repair time. It's when the lining we talked about does its healing. Now here's the reframe I want you to walk away with, and it closes the loop I opened at the start. Lost firmness after 60 is not a verdict. It's not a closed door. For a great many men, it's a message about blood sugar and blood vessels, written in the one place that shows it earliest. And a message you can read is a message you can answer. So don't blame the candles on the cake. Blame the sugar, check your numbers, feel for that pulse, take the walk, fix the order on your plate, protect your sleep. You are not too old. You were just told the wrong story. And like I mentioned, if you want to check out the natural support I use myself, it's down there in the description whenever you're ready, no rush. Take care of those vessels, my friend. They're trying to tell you something, and now you finally know how to listen. Just remember, this is general education, not medical advice. Your numbers and your body are your own, so use this to have a smarter conversation with your doctor, not to replace one. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.